What up? What up? Mundo in the house. Charlie! Hope you have a good workout session tonight while you're listening, brother. Hope you have a good one, man. I hope you had a great fourth. Had a decent fourth. I was working on some Saber stuff while, man, all I had to do was open up my garage to watch fireworks. It's too funny, man, because everybody, a lot of people in my neighborhood, man, just went at it with their fireworks, and it was just like crazy. All I had to do was just lift up my garage, and I can watch everything from my bench. Cindy, what up, my brother? What's up? The flying supernova over here. Man, that is some crazy flying, man. I like it though. I like it. I'm gonna put my goggles on here, man, so I can work on a few things while I'm talking to you guys about um bumps in the road with installations. Now, Cindy, you've installed quite a few sabers, or at least more than I have, right? And I know you've probably had your fair share of bumps in the road, so to speak, in terms of while you're installing things, right? Just uh nothing much, just working out loud, thank you. Yeah. It's crazy, dude, though, right? So like I was saying, you've had your fair share of working on sabers and stuff. And there's got to be some times, man, where you have a bump in the road. Like maybe you've had to redo about three or four freaking, um, like maybe when you're working on a Saber and you run across an issue, or maybe even a wire breaks while you're working on pulling it and stuff like that. So little things like that, right? That just gives you bumps in the road and gets you to the point where you're like, damn it, now I got to do it all over, and it just keeps you from finishing that saber, right? Now I am almost done with Roy Boy 2.0. I really am. I am almost done. I've got a few things, a few kinks to work out, but nonetheless, I'm almost 3 quarters. Well, yeah, I would say 3 quarters of the way done, right? So I'm hoping that either hopefully by this weekend or next weekend, ultimately get done with Roy Boy 2.0 and get on to my dad's build because that's my goal, right? Is to get that done. And because I've spent a little too much time on Roy Boy here, but I want to make sure that I'm not screwing it up. And I've had to rewire the whole thing probably about 6 times, man. Just simply because of things that I wasn't happy with, things weren't working right, things I didn't understand, and and then of course time constraints with work and everything else on top of that. So let's see here, and I'm gonna cut this. And in all these little and some of these little problems, and the reason why I said bumps in the road is not with state and I didn't want to put in waiting for parts because the last time that we talked about, problems during installs and stuff like that, I wanted to make sure that anything that happened within an install went on without waiting for parts, right? Because sometimes that could be a big factor in things preventing you from completing your. Hey, Felicia! Oh man, Felicia, we didn't even get like I probably got about 30 seconds worth of rain and that was it. 30 seconds. That's it. You know? 30 seconds. Y'all probably got more rain than we did. Cause we hardly got anything down here. And I knew it was gonna. I knew it was. And I hate to say this, but I knew it was gonna hit Houston. I knew it was gonna turn that much that I didn't even board up my house. It's crazy, right? But Houston got hit hard. Houston and Galveston, they really got hit hard. So I'm praying for everybody over there right now because they got it. They got hit really hard. Yeah, they got hit really hard. Not just. I mean, I was hoping for some rain over here, and we didn't get nothing. Yeah. Oh, Pern. Hey, what's up, man? Houston keeps getting it. Yeah, I saw zero rain here too. So it's like here in Corpus, we got nothing. It is sweltering, dude. We got 30. I say we got about 30 seconds worth of rain. Well, one of my coworkers, she said she got about an hour's worth of pouring, and then that was it. Here in my house, I got 30 seconds worth of rain, and not even rain. It was just a sprinkle, just enough to get the back of my shirt a little wet. Not even like, and it dried up within seconds, and that's pretty much it. So I was hoping we'd get a lot more rain than that, man. I was like, oh, I was just so sad that we didn't get hardly any rain, man. Any rain. So while I'm talking to you guys, and forgive me, I'm gonna kind of work on Roy Boy a little bit here with you guys and see if I can get something checked out and completed. Whether it's gonna work or not, I don't know, but I'm trying to see if this data out line is going to work where I want it to work, and if not, then jeepers creepers, I'll have to do something else. So I may just omit it entirely and see how that's going to work out. Cindy says, "Sorry, I've got two machines not cooperating right now, so my replies may be slow." Hey, Cindy, no worry about it. In, in the house. What up, my buddy? He says, "But yes, many speed bumps, usually because of poor planning, and I am the." That sounds like me, Cindy. Yeah, it's mostly me, man. User error, right? User error. I have. I mean, I tell you because yeah, I really don't plan too well. Just like because with all of these LEDs, there's some that work right now and there's some that don't, and I'm trying to iron that out. But when things look a certain way and they look cool, just because they look cool doesn't mean they're always going to work out the way you want them to, and that's a big bump in the road, at least for me, right? I mean, I love this design and everything. Don't get me wrong, but I honestly didn't think certain things through the way I wanted to do them, and but on the flip side of that, though, it really is challenging myself in teaching myself better techniques, right? In the saber building, should I say, right? Um, and a lot of the times when you're first learning this, you're gonna learn, a lot of trial and error stuff, right? And then, like I said, once you get it, you get it. So, um, damn it, I'm trying to get this line and it can't get too much in the way. Yeah, it's just killing me here. Okay. Oh, damn it. Oh, I hope it didn't go in because I do not want to have to pull things out. Let's see. Uh-huh. See, and there's sometimes like one of the things that I kind of sometimes when you underestimate certain things that you do, like cutting lines too short sometimes, right? Can really be a pain in the ass because you really do try to get it right. And then you cut things too short and you have to really try to get in there and fix it. And then it presents a whole different challenge in trying to get it fixed, right? And especially when you got things in the way and it's like, oh, it's just a real pill here. Try to get the right direction, the right angle, and the right amount without screwing anything else up. And you know what? I think I'm gonna have to find my other strippers. Let me see. And and that's another thing. If you don't have the proper equipment, also that can pose a big bump in your oh, I don't want those. Let me see here. That can pose a real challenge and a big bump in your progress to your saber installs, right? Let me see. Those might. I know those aren't gonna work exactly for where I need, but where is? See, and I'm a kids. Don't try this at home because I am a master of moving things and not being able to find them when you need them. I find them, I get them, and then damn it, they go bye bye. And watch when at the end of, hey Meg, how you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see you, man. Meg Tooth in the house, everybody. Yes, I am, Meg. I am. I'm very close, dude. I am super close. Oh, right now, there's a line that I'm trying to get, and it's bugging the heck out of me to see if it's gonna work when I get it fixed up. But what I need to do, uh, I'm gonna see if I can run this line first, and then I can get. Let me do this. Run it, and then maybe I can kind of get it together. So we'll see here. Um, I've got LEDs on there, but not all of them are working. So I need to see which play around with it and find out what's working, what's not working. Well, I do know that let me get this real quick. So as it is, these LEDs are working and this LED is working, but this LED is not, and the LEDs in here underneath are not. So, like I said, I am super close to getting it done. And right now, I'm just kind of tweaking things to see if I can get her done. But we'll see what happens after I fix this line and see if that out that data outline is going to work a little bit. And if it doesn't, then what I can do is omit the data line all completely and then figure out where the other lines are not getting the juice from. So we'll see how that's going to work out. And um we shall see how it's going to turn out. I'm hoping it's going to turn out pretty decently, but we'll find out. Um, and again, this is a big, for me, this is a big bump in the road, right? And like I said, it poses challenges, right? When you have challenges, and like Meg always explained in a lot of his videos that, um, each saber has unique challenges and uniqueness to each of themselves. and in the build itself. So each challenge permits different challenges to different people, whether good, bad, or otherwise, right? And for me, I mean, it's just I'm a slow learner, but I learn it and I will get it, and eventually, persistence is a winner. So we'll see here, just if I can get this running in there with the LED shit. And some of these angles, man, some of these angles pose a good challenge for myself without trying to burn anything else up and get everything else undone. So I just need just enough to get it stuck in there. Come on, get in there. Uh, Let me see here. Maybe I need to bring it up just a little bit there. So and see, and I'm not one to be able to do two things at one time at once sometimes. So this poses a little bit of a challenge for me in itself because multitasking I have not been decently good at. I'm gonna back up the camera here just a little tiny bit so I don't well, maybe y'all can see that just a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. So what I am doing is trying to see if I can get this data outline on here and see if that's gonna work. Almost. Come on. Get it. Okay, good. So we got it on there. Now I just need to connect it to the data out that's down here that's a little too short. So I'm gonna run this in here. All right. So just to give you all kind of look, I'm gonna run it down in here. And like I said, this is a big bump in the road for me because trying to get these LEDs figured out of what I need to do on working completely. Now, once I get these other LEDs working completely, I am done with this Zebra. I will be done. And where is it? So we shall see. Meg, did y'all have a good fourth, man? I hope y'all did. I was telling everybody here that all I had to do was get open my garage door and fireworks were right there at my door basically. Open my garage and everybody was popping their fireworks in the street and by my house. So it's like, okay, didn't have to worry about buying any. Everybody else bought them. I just had to enjoy them. Now, Meg, let me ask you this, dude. When you're installing sabers and you had some bumps in the road, some challenges, right? And again, what I'm saying is, in let's disregard waiting for parts because when I did this segment a while back, one of the challenges was waiting for parts, but I want to omit that part in the bump in the roads and the challenges in installations, right? Now, during some of your installations, when you were running wires and everything, did you have wires break? Where did you cut them too short in the beginning when you were learning and stuff like that? What were some of your challenges that you during the install process had to overcome? Um, in I let's see, makes this is sometimes when things are going wrong, I start isolating and testing. Now, did you test each component like along the way with your MM with the multimeter? Wires too short, solder joints broke. Okay. So those, all right, see, and that's what I want to get across, because for any new people that are watching this and coming into the hobby, I want them to learn and understand that when they jump into the hobby, when they're learning and everything, like this is a natural process that they're going to get into. That, you know, you test every LED. This is a natural process that they're going to go through, and with each and every different build that they do, because like you stated in a lot of your videos, that each saber has its own unique challenge to it, and you have to figure that out when you're doing these installs. uh, and especially if maybe you grab and you come hold and you get let's say you're using the 30 gauge wire, right? I test too much, but then I know when it doesn't fire, something else is wrong. Okay, see? So, that's like I said again, and I thank you very much for pointing those things out, Meg. Uh, Again, I want to reiterate that stuff like this will show the new people that coming into the hobby, that hopefully watch this video and everything else, right? That there's challenges, and you have to work through those challenges. And yeah, so Meg says each saber presents its own unique challenges to have to defeat, of course. And breaking wires, burning boards. I've already burned 3 boards, man, in my first, real attempts to, do sabers. And from what and that's a very huge bump in the road because that costs money, right? But what Space and everybody else has told me is that it is a rite of passage almost, because without learning how to wire properly, without doing your diagnostics properly and everything else, even seasoned pros burn up boards at times. But then also sometimes you have to push back and walk away when you're frustrated. Meg, I did that, I did that yesterday. I got so frustrated with this thing because I couldn't understand why the LEDs underneath the buttons weren't working, and the in hilt LED, I mean in chassis LED isn't working. So that's why right now I'm working on this line right here to see if that's going to work. And if it doesn't, then I'll uh, omit that, because what it is an out data out for this LED right here that's already working, but it doesn't color change. It stays white. So again, that's another thing that I'm trying to see if I can fix on top of that, and hopefully I can get it situated. So we shall see. We shall see. This is the one thing that I have left to do. Well, it's not the only thing I have left to do. Right now, it is just one of the things that I can do to try and get finished or done, to see about turning on the saber and seeing what happens if the LED situation improves, doesn't improve, and everything else like that on top of it. So, man, it see, and it's kind of short here, and I'm trying to get it enough to where I can strip it just a little bit. And it is posing a challenge, if you will. Now you got to remember that when you're doing these things, yeah. So you got to remember that when you're doing these things, make sure that when you do certain things and you cut these lines, LEDs, and anything else like that, um, you want to make sure that if you're cutting something and any little piece of wire, make sure you clean that wire out. Make sure that you spray your board, get some, you're using the flux, get the flux off. These will pose big problems into your into your builds, right? When you're doing your installs. Let's see, Meg says that the brain can think clearly when you're angry and frustrated, and the brain can't think clearly that you should have read. Right, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you need to be in a point, in a state of mind that it's clear that you're not frustrated. And Meg is absolutely right that if you're frustrated with it, then you need to walk away for a while and come back to it much later, right? Um, that way, because again, it will be in the middle of your install, a bump in the road when you get so angry that you make certain mistakes and then you mess up the whole build itself. So you really don't want to do that because then you're going to cost yourself some extra money as well. Maybe you might have to buy a new board, maybe you might have to buy, other stuff that you waste. And if you don't have enough money to supplement all of those things, like me, I got to save up for everything, every bit of wire and all of that. All the extra wire that I cut, I keep in a little box like this so that way I can reuse some of the stuff that I didn't use. And if there's like too small that I can't use, then I'll go ahead and throw that away. But other than that, try to get what I can use so that I don't have any more bumps in the road. If that makes sense to you guys, right? Meg, I am using the Golden Harvest. I think it's the V3, I believe. V3 or V4? I think it's V3. But your issue could be in board software setup, not wiring. Meg, yeah, okay. I thought about that too. So I went into the general.txt file and I did set my LEDs, the accent LEDs for 14 and see, because I think that might be right. Try wiring a smile LED that you tested to the board. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm trying this right now and see if that's gonna work. Now, if that don't work, because I utilized the 5, 8, and 9 accent LED pads, uh, I think that's reason why they work right now, but I still need to do some tweaking just in case, right? So let me see if I can get small. Yeah, if I can get in here and get if I can get right about. I want to give myself, and you want to give yourself a little bit of room too. You don't want to see like I did. Well, initially I cut the other one a little too small, simply because it was going to fit on the board by itself. I didn't intend to run it all the way to the pins. So here I am having to do it this way and see if this is going to work. Now, if it doesn't work, then what I can do is I can take some shrink tubing and shut the the out, uh, the data outline altogether and then continue my build with that, right? So we'll see what happens here because I need to see if that's going to work itself. And I'm almost expecting for this not to work simply because I was reading Adafruit's stuff on NeoPixels, and it looks like I can omit that because I don't have them all in a series. Uh, I did, however, put all the data lines together on a single pad, and that did not work. So none of the LEDs worked until I moved them from those other data to those other data pads, right? Or the accent pads. And so, like I said, trying this, we're going to see what happens. And if it doesn't work, then I can omit that, and I know that that's not. going to be an issue with that, right? We'll figure that out in here and see what happens. So let me get this right here. And we are 30 minutes into the lead feed. And so and Cindy, like what other challenges have you guys gotten into that really posed, well, let me reword that actually, because you had a few bumps in the roads and stuff like that, but in doing so, did you have like cutting some uh of your wires too short? Did you cut let's say maybe on some of your chassis that you broke a piece of chassis off, or maybe you were doing a hot air station and you kind of messed up your chassis a little bit that way? What were some of your bumps in the road in terms of during your installs? Did you have to like take everything out and redo a whole install after getting so far and it didn't work out? Like I had to do that 3 times with Roy Boy. This is my third time rewiring it. And a lot of it also has to deal with not being happy with my wiring too, because what I'm trying to do is improve on my wiring skills in terms of when you have the 3 wires, 2 wires, 4 wires. So I want to make sure that I get, oh shoot, let me see. I want to make sure that, okay, good. That's good. Now let's get those two together and get the shrink tube. And everything that you do can really kind of determine whether you're going to have a winner, loser, whatever have you will. A setback, but see, I don't really consider setbacks too much. I consider these setbacks learning experiences, really and honestly. And I think it's important that you have to think that way. Oh, that is too big. Um, I think it's important that you think that way, that each build that you do and you haven't. So and then it says I haven't built up the courage yet to attempt an install, and I've just been practicing soldier right now. And then good, man. So you started that, right? You finally got to the point where you're practicing with your soldering. That's good, dude. That's a very good beginning starting point, because that's what I did. I took a whole year to really learn and do a good decent job on my soldering, man. And and even me being somewhat decent in my soldering skills, I'm not where I want to be, but I know that I'm in a place where I can be comfortable with myself doing something, if that makes any sense to you, right? And then there's a little difference right there in the bump in the road too, because when you're just starting out, you have to make sure that you give yourself enough credit, enough room, and enough leeway for improvement on yourself, right? And if you're not happy, just keep working at it, keep going, keep going, keep going. Never give up, because eventually you're gonna get there. And I tell you, because right now, without Meg, without Space Windu, and quite a few other people, and Rob Petcow, you know, with a lot of mentors in this hobby, man, in learning from, you know, your bump in the roads are going to start smoothing out as you go along when you're learning and you're doing your installs, you're getting your practice in, you're doing this, you're doing that, you know. So when you get to the point where you know you're just wiring practicing on wires and putting them together and you're confident enough, then you start getting to the point where you're doing soldering to the boards and doing that, right? I'm planning on buying a cheaper board on my first attempt. And then that is a great idea, man. That is an absolutely great idea because the less see, I did it the other way around. I did it with the most expensive board and I should have never done that. But that's on me, right? I'm the type of person who goes head first diving in with sharks, not not thinking that I'm going to get eaten. I mean, that's just me and I end up swimming around and like, oh shit, I need to just get out of here if I can and go back to another diving area without sharks. So, you know, that's lightly putting it too, man. That is just lightly putting it. But and then you're on the right track, man. You're on the right track because that's exactly what I did, except for the board. I should have gone with a cheaper board, and I did not do that. I went with a CFX. I should have gone for the Verso first, and then gone, you know, or it is what it is, dude. And I should have adhered to that kind of way of going. But you know. Learned a lot. I learned a lot. I did. And my skills are improving little bit by little bit. Okay, so let me see if I can get these things together. And, oh, man, this is going to be a big pain in the butt right here. And let me see. Oh, no. See, my challenge is, see, like I said, this is not cooperating. If I go on the other side, will it? Okay, let's see. Come out wherever you are. Man. And then so what's gonna be your first board, dude? What's gonna be your first board? And then I wanna see what you think about what you're gonna get. Are you going to get a Verso? Maybe a Golden Harvest? What's your plan? This is a Golden Harvest, by the way, that I'm working on. So it's a pretty decent board, man. For what you get, it is not a bad board at all. Not a bad board at all. So I've got that there. And am I gonna be able to? Oh, I'm gonna have to turn it this way. Jeez. Okay. Do 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 do. Bumps in the road. See, with that other wire being too short now, it's kind of posing a little bit of a deal here. But perseverance is going to get everything for me here, so I'll figure it out while I'm talking to you guys. Golden Harvest, good choice, dude. That's a good choice. Come on now. Let me see. I might have to get my helping hands. And of course, helping hands, very invaluable tool. So make sure that you get, and then make sure you get some of your helping hands, dude, because they are a very invaluable tool. And you'll hear that in every video you watch, man, that actually says anything about it. That um the helping hands, they are essential. Yeah, they are very essential, dude. They are very essential for your builds. Oh no, where'd it go? Okay, and then it says eventually gonna try CFX. See, I've got a CFX waiting and ready for my next build. And the thing is that I wanted to get this build done first before I get on to my next one, right? Because this is important for me to get this one done. And it is, Jesus. Let me see. Am I gonna need to get down here? Hey, come on. Bump in the road, bump in the road. But it's getting there. It's, yeah, dang it. Come on. See, real world struggles, guys. Real world. A lot of times, you see these videos being made and everything is going smoothly, right? So I'm just gonna stop myself right here, right now, from doing this for a minute so that I can talk to you guys. But um, yeah, it is really more intimidating than it really looks, and just take your time with it, though. Take your time with it, and really, you know, um, go along. And if you feel like it's frustrating, take a break out of it. This and that. To me, I tell you what, soldering is kind of relaxing. When I'm soldering wires, when I'm actually doing this, it really poses a lot of, it takes a lot of stress out of myself, because when I'm doing this, the my problems just go away. The days, if I had a rough day at work, that just disappears, right? And the build, it just takes over, in my own little world. I'm a happy camper, man. Happy camper. And I tell you, it may feel like sometimes that it's like, oh, it's a pain in the ass. But when you get it done, there is just no feeling in the world like it, right? But yeah, I mean, the bump in the road is not getting it done, but eventually, you'll get there. Your bump in the road is just beginning, and it's not even a uphill battle, dude. Right now, it's just a little hill until you really get going. And once you start improving your skills and you start doing more and more builds, sorry guys, my eyes a little itchy here. We got some allergies going on with the dust in here. um, what do you call it? So, like I said, and then your little bump in the road is just a little hill because you're just starting out, and you'll get eventually when you start really getting into it, man. It's gonna be a badass feeling, and that's the way I feel. It's a badass feeling for me. Ooh. Um, so you're bumping the roads though, right? Um, Getting back onto the bumps. Like I said, like my bump right here is a little short deal, and trying to get it together so I can try to turn this thing on and get it done. We'll see what happens here. Come here. Okay. Oh, I definitely need to kind of. I don't think I got. All right. Looks like I need a little soldier on that other line there. Let me get that. Let's see. All right. Come on, you. Come on. All right. All right. Now, on just a little. Oh, almost there. Okay. Let me put this up and get back to where I can try to get this together. Readjust. And always remember, readjust if you need to readjust and get in there. Readjust, readjust. Let me see. Readjust. Almost. Come on. Come on out. Come on out. Almost want to start playing the Three's Company. Three's Company theme. Come and knock on my door. Let's see. Alright. What? Alright. I need to. Alright. Man, I swear. Sometimes it's a big pain in the butt having to fight all of these wires and not. Let me see. Can I? Alright. Come on. Get there. I just want enough to where I can. Dang it. So, Meg, are you working on any installs right now? Are you doing any new costumes? Uh, Possibly getting, let's see, and then my main concern is burning the board, and I've got very steady hands due to my job, and so I feel that I can pick it up quickly, and it's just a pain to get parts because of shipping costs. Yeah, that can pose a very huge problem for people, man. And I feel you because shipping cost is crazy. Um, Coming from different places and all of that good junk, man. So I feel for you in that department, dude. I really do. I just wish things were a little bit better wise in those terms, but what can you do, you know? Okay, I'm gonna have to do this a little differently here. So because it's not really working out on that end. So excuse me. Whew. Let me come in here and readjust. That's another thing, man. Just readjust if you need to readjust, because there's not just one way of doing certain things. So if you can do it, get it. Trying to see if I can get this kind of closer in. Okay, get get that. Okay, okay, almost, almost. Come on, come on. See, sometimes when you get into some of these wires here, and you have a wire that's cut a little short, and then you got to fight all of these different wires to get in there. That could be a big bump in the road right here. Like a little road map, and you're just like, right? Come on. Oh, almost. All right. Stay there, stay there, stay there. And it moved. And every little movement gets me off track, but hey, what can you do? Like I said, when you have these little things here going on, but I will persist and I will get it. Right? I'm going to get it. Let's get the light back on there so I can get that. I might have to. All right. See, my thing is, I wonder if I can. see if I can get these holders to get this one. If I can get this one out enough. Come on. Come on. Maybe that did it. Maybe that's gonna work. Okay. Let's see. That might work. Okay. Okay. Not happy with that. Let's try again. And that's another thing. If you right now I'm just doing this connection just to see if it's gonna work, if it's not. So I'm really not gonna do too much on this in terms of doing it pro. I want to do it just enough so that it adheres to each other and I can just test it. Okay. Woo. All right. Now I just need to get that. Where is it? Oh man. Don't tell me. Okay. Well, I think what I'm gonna do, since the shrink tube took a little hike, I'm just gonna put some tape on here. So that way nothing will arc and nothing will kind of mess up here. So I'm just gonna do cover it. And this is just for testing purposes. It's not gonna stay like this because, like I said, guys, if if I can get it, if it works, then I will wire it on properly. I'll solder it properly together and get some shrink tube on there. But for right now, I just want to see about getting it, if that's going to make a difference in the LEDs or not. That's my goal right here, is to see. Now, because I already did, I tweaked it in the dot text, in the general dot text, or the file. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So let's see how this is going to turn out. Hopefully, it'll turn out good. Hopefully, it'll turn out bad. I don't know. We're going to see how this turns out. Now, the LEDs may not even come on either for me doing this. So if the LEDs that came on and didn't come on, that means that I know that the data outline, right, the blue one here that I just did, the data out went to the pins. Now, if it doesn't work, if the pins don't work, and um, and this LED doesn't work, then I know that I can omit the data outline completely, right? And I will show you that after we see what happens here. So let's get the battery in and see what happens. Wish me luck, guys. Let's see. All right, so battery's in. Let's see what happens. We got sound. Woo! We got an LED there, but no LED here. Let's see what happens. Volume control activated. Okay, buttons work, and this doesn't work. Because this was working yesterday without the line out, right? And see, that was working, and these were working without that line. So let's see here. Ooh. Volume adjusted. Okay. So what I might have to do,
Saber editor. Select mode. Save and leave Saber editor.
Okay. So this is the only one working right here, right now. And let's see.
Saber editor.
No.
Select save and leave Saber.
Okay, I don't want to do that. So
Volume control activated.
see if I can turn it on a little bit.
Volume adjusted.
Oh, okay. So now this LED came on after that. So that's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so these don't work. These LEDs don't work. This LED doesn't work, but this one does. So that tells me that the data outline does not need to be put in for right now. So let me do something here. So
I've encountered a vortex.
sounds a little weird, but then again, it's not set in there perfectly. So all right. So let's try to do this. Hey Chet, how you doing, man? All right. So now we know that that's not working. And what I want to do is I'm going to undo this line. Shit, actually, I need to just cover this up. I want to cover that part up. And I'm going to take this SD card out because you really don't want to make sure that you don't solder with the SD card in there. It could be pretty bad. That's a big bump in the road right there, right, guys? So what I'm going to do now is that now that I saw that that's not going to work, let's go back. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to take this out. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now I'm just going to kind of leave it out like this, and I'm going to take it out completely anyway, but I want to see what it'll do without that, right? We're going to see what it's going to do without that. So make sure that this line is not going to touch anything, any other lines, and kind of screw things up along the way there. Okay, that's covered. All right, so let's put the berry back in, see what's going to happen. Oh, we got LEDs right here, and we got this one on. Woo!
Saber editor.
Okay, I don't want that one.
Mode. Save and leave effect font lot.
All right, so let's see here.
Volume control activated. Volume adjusted.
All right, so let's see. Ooh, I apologize for the bright lights, guys. So we got this light LEDs working now. We got this LED working now. So now I need to figure out how to get these LEDs going and this LED going. Let's see. Okay, buttons work. Blasters, smooth swing. All right. So, like I said, 3/4 of the way done. So just now I gotta tweak some things out here. Oops, excuse me, guys. Lost the kill key right here. I'm gonna pick it up. Yeah, right now the it doesn't sound so great with this. And this is a brand new speaker I put in here. I took out the other one, and I think I might put it back. So depending if I get all the LEDs working. So okay, so I'm gonna take the data outline completely because, like I was saying earlier, and this is just a little bump in the road, as I was saying and I was talking about. That now I've got to figure out how to get this LED working and the LEDs under here working. And Meg may be right. It might be where I have to program something in the text video file there and see if that goes on. Um, because as it is, I put in there for the accent LEDs is 14 accent LEDs. So in the way I counted the accent LEDs, and I may be wrong. So if anybody's there, correct me if I'm wrong. But the way I considered 14 accent LEDs was one, and then you got four in here, so that's five, six, and then the rest in here, right? So total would be 14 accent LEDs, and that's how I came up with those. Now I could be wrong, and what I may have to do is just kind of go back and maybe take that off and only and do the blade LEDs and see if that's going to change anything. Maybe changing the blade the pixel numbers and see if that works. As it is, I think I have at 135, I think, on the general.txt file. So I may have to change that and see if that works and see if these work, right? See if I can get these to work with that. But yeah, man, 3/4 of the way done. And then once I figure out that getting that, then my next step is to get once I get those LEDs working, then and put the board down, get it situated in there, get the pins down, situated in there. Then my next test will be doing this bit and see if that's going to work out. I wonder, let's see, because, and I didn't want to put this on there just yet because I don't want anything touching in here and then, kind of frying the board that way. So again, I want to try to get these working without that first. And I'm sure that if this is working, then these are going to work in here as well, right? And I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens in that respect right there. So we shall see. And maybe something came loose in here for the LEDs that are under here, and I need to check that. So that could be a bump in the road right there, right, guys? Um, but yeah, like I said, 3/4 of the way done. We know that this works. We know that this LED works right here. So I got a little bit of homework to do and keep finding out on what I can do. Maybe take some of these data lines that are on these pads, move one or two around and see if that fixes the problem. And then also go and work on the general.txt you know, file and see if that works. So, like I said, a few bumps in the road, but we're almost there, guys. I am almost there. Once I get this LED working and I get these LEDs working, then I can close her up, test it with this, and test it with the blade, and I will be done. I will be done. But yeah, dude, I mean, Roy Boy is looking good. So if I were to do, and let's say it started working, but I'm not gonna put the top hat, but okay, this half is actually kind of done. So, right? Let's see what it let's see what it sounds like with this on here. And the plastic sleeve, no, not yet. I might do that. Well, for the most part, like I said, if I can, let's see.
I'm wary. Sense of disturbance in the force.
And I don't have it as loud as I could get it. Huh. See, and now that I've got it turned off, right? I did the twist retraction, and now that I got it turned off, I want to try to see about getting these turned off as well. So there's a little bit of bump in the road, right? Because I don't want these on. I want these to emulate when I turn off the blade, they turn off too. I don't want to have them just kind of go on unless I'm actually doing some kind of reveal of something like this LED right here. Eventually I want to get it to where maybe I'll have it doing like a heartbeat type motion and stuff like that. But other than that, hey, you know, little bit of homework, almost there. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Pressing the button here. Oh, because I'm not holding it down. Oh, really? Okay. Huh. That is really interesting. My buttons are kind of, huh. And you saw that they were working a while ago. So, yeah, it looks like I got some work to do. All right. So it could be in here that might be my problem as well. Recheck the board too. Maybe while I was doing that kind of work, something happened. All right. Well, for now, take out the battery, and I will recheck all my work. See if maybe the buttons lines came off. They don't look like they came off. See, another bump in the road, guys. See, stuff like that. No, they're on there. Okay. So they're on there. Huh. So it could be up in here that's really screwing me up. And I'm gonna have to check that. But other than that, all right, guys. I think Mundo's gonna be out. I'm gonna um check y'all out later. I'm gonna kind of work on this thing and see where I can get with it tonight. Maybe I get a little further, maybe not. We shall see. So for everybody that came by, thank you so much hanging out with me tonight and talking about bumps in the road. Cinzy, Meg, and Charlie, I hope you had a good workout, brother. Chet, man, yeah, guys, I love everybody who came out and hung out with me tonight, and witness to me getting one step closer to finishing. Felicia, yeah, thank you again. You too, thank you. Um, one step closer to finishing Roy Boy. And like I said, it's getting there. And I still have to thank, Space for allowing me to do Mundo Madness Monday. And make sure that you like and subscribe to Civilized Sabers. Make sure if you want to give me some love on the Mundo channel, because it piggybacks off of this channel as well, right? Um, so you can like and subscribe at Mundo Cabrera at Mundo Cabrera 7007. I would very much appreciate it. I think eventually I'm going to do some things with the Mundo channel, half saber related and half of other different things. So we'll see. I'm still kind of planning things out whether I want to do live or want to do just videos or something like that. So still working on the planning stages for the Mundo channel, and if I'm going to do it, maybe do it on a Saturday. So we shall see how that's going to work out. I got to make sure that it doesn't interfere with family time as well. Again, everybody, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Um, Mundo is going to brand out, and hopefully to see y'all next week. Should be fun.
In
Mundo out.
here, we pour whiskey.